So in today's episode, we're going to talk about an in-flight upset which unfortunately killed a passenger. This just happened the other day in the United States. It was a Bombardier Challenger 300 which was flying from Dillon Hopkins Airport in Keene, New Hampshire to Leesburg, Virginia. It's a 330 nautical mile flight, which is basically an hour. There was severe turbulence in the area. The airplane did this. Basically, it went to 6,000 feet a minute and then down to 2,000 feet a minute. And when it hit 23,000 feet, passenger got knocked around the cabin. There were 3 passengers, 2 pilots. One of the passengers got knocked around the cabin and died, unfortunately. Now, why did this happen? Now, of course, the investigation is ongoing, but I can clearly see what went on here. Now, first of all, if I don't know if the pilots briefed the passengers on the bad weather, but you know, on a flight like that, which is an hour, you're basically going up and down. It's very quick. There's a lot happening up front, so you really need to brief your passengers and say, look, this is a short flight. If you need a bathroom break, go now, because you know we're going to be up and down. So I want you to stay seated at all times with your seatbelt on. And if you know, with the turbulence forecast, you said, and by the way, we have forecast turbulence, so it's going to be quite a rough ride. So you really need to buckle up for the whole flight. That would have been my briefing, as well as the usual security stuff about evacuating the aircraft and the oxygen masks, etc., etc. Now, what I think happened here is the passenger that got knocked around the cabin and unfortunately lost their life, probably either didn't have their seatbelt on or they hadn't buckled the seatbelt up properly. It's one of those two things, and that's why they got knocked around the cabin. This does happen. Airplanes do hit turbulence, and turbulence can kill. It's happened before in the past, and most of the time it's crew that get killed. It's flight attendants because they're out all the time in the cabin. I always tell my kids when we travel on an airplane to always keep their seatbelts fastened at all times. That's what I do, unless you're getting up to go to the toilet. That's my recommendation to everybody. So this is what I think happened here. Now, of course, the news are going on about saying that, you know, these small aeroplanes, they're more subject to turbulence than the big aeroplanes. You know, turbulence is turbulence, and it hits a small plane like it hits a big plane. Yes, of course, the larger plane is more robust, but still, this is a situation where the passenger clearly did not have their seatbelt on, or it wasn't fastened properly, it was loose, and they got bashed around the cabin. So that's what happened on this one. So hope you enjoyed this episode of BizJet TV. Please give us a super thanks and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And also check out this other video we did about the PC-12 and why Pilatus PC-12 crashes. That's an interesting one. And that's all from Fabrizio Poli on BizJet TV, and I'll see you on the next one.